How are you today, Taylor?
I'm doing okay. Just felt a little overwhelmed.
Okay, what's going on?
I think it's just the weight of like this semester finally hitting everything, and I've got a lot going on the outside. It's just kind of all boiled together, and it's kind of hitting me and really just making me feel overwhelmed and tired.
Okay, so it's just a lot hitting you at once?
Yeah. This semester, I knew it was going to be tough, and more in the sense of me putting more pressure on myself because all the classes I'm taking are very specific to what I want to do, and I kind of feel like this is the semester that like I really prove if I want to be able to do counseling. And it's also the semester, the first semester of grad school, where I have everything kind of going on at home at the same time.
Okay, so it's not only just feeling overwhelmed here in the semester, but it's also just everything, it just feels like everything's happening at home now.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily anything bad, all the time. It's just there's a lot, and it's really adding up.
Okay, so that's where you feel the overwhelmness.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, I can see what you mean. And could you kind of give me a little bit more details on maybe what's going on at home?
Well, for example, right now, my in-laws just moved into town, and they moved last week, and they're staying with us until they move in their house. Well, they were supposed to move in their house today, get their house today. But when they went to look at it, they didn't like it. And I do agree with it. It was, they were just going to live on base housing for a year until they find a house to buy and, in the neighborhood, get to know the area and see a neighborhood that they like. And I agree with them. I didn't like the house either. It's really old. It was a little run down, and kind of shocking that base would offer that house. But they ended up finding another one on base, but it moved it back a week. So, I don't mind having them in the house, but it's not having my own space in the house. It's kind of tiptoeing around if they're sleeping in, or, it's just working around other people's schedules on top of my normal family's routine.
Okay, so you're kind of more just feeling this overwhelmness not only in school, but you're also feeling it at home, and even more so now that you have your in-laws living there.
Yeah, and like I said, they're good. It's not that they're causing any problems. It's just the fact that everything in the house dynamic is thrown off at the moment.
Okay.
So it's hard to sit down and do schoolwork when you have two extra people in the house.
Yeah, I could understand that. I've actually personally lived with in-laws, so I could understand the overwhelmness there. Yeah. And I can kind of sense a little bit of smiling nervousness in a way.
It is, like I said, I feel like I'm complaining, and I guess in a sense, like, I am complaining, but I don't mean it negatively, if that makes sense.
Okay, yes.
Yes. It's just this semester's been crazy. Like my husband's had weird shifts with work, and he's going to actually be leaving in a couple of weeks for a TDY for a little bit. I mean, he'll be home before the holidays, but holidays are already a crazy time, and like I said, it's just been one thing after another. Not necessarily bad. Some are it's stressful, but it's just all adds up. I haven't had time to take time for myself, and I think that's the biggest thing that's really making me just feel the pressure.
Okay. So just feeling yourself, having me time, seems to be very important to you.
Yeah, well, I know that's probably my biggest fault, is that I will go and go and go and forget to take care of myself. And I'm fine with it for the most part, but every once in a while I kind of hit that wall, and it reminds me that I need to do it. And with all the counseling classes, they always stress self-care and things like that, so I've tried to be better about it, and I've been great up until this point, but with so much going on at home, it's been hard to, go out and go run or exercise at home, or just get out, and it's really starting to drag me down. I was trying to think of the last time I actually took just me time, and honestly, the only time I can think about was like going to the grocery store by myself, which is nice, don't get me wrong, but that's not really taking care of yourself. It's just going without the kids.
Yes, it's more of just like a getting away.
Yeah.
Okay. And I kind of want to touch on, you said it's kind of your fault. So in a way, do you feel like you're blaming yourself, or?
I know that my tendency, I have workaholic tendencies, and I try to slow down, but it's really hard for me to slow down. If I slow down, I'm doing nothing. That really weighs on me, and I feel it's really easy for me to get down just because I feel like I'm not doing anything, and I have like that nervous energy that just starts to build up.
Okay.
So even little things, like it's hard for me to sit down and watch a movie. I can do it, but it's like I have to be mentally prepared and like have snacks and things like that to kind of keep my hands busy to focus on the movie, because otherwise I'll sit there and think, oh, I need to go vacuum, or I need to do this or that, and it's really hard to slow my mind down and enjoy quiet time or relaxation.
Okay, so could you kind of give me an example of how it would look if you did have alone time?
I used to be really I am big on reading, and I love to read, and I typically try not to get involved in anything that's like too grueling in the semester, because it's hard to balance out schoolwork and, reading, but usually I'll just do something like, take a bath and kind of just relax when everybody's asleep and read, or just go sit outside and drink coffee and read. And I just haven't done that. I haven't picked a book to read because I've had so much going on, and haven't even made time to like try and find an audio book to read or to listen to on my way to and from class.
Okay, so you are able to at least even listen back and forth whenever you drive.
Yeah, and I haven't even been doing that. I think that's kind of part of it, is I'm not even making time to pick out a book.
Okay, I understand. I can see what you mean. Okay. And so, kind of just to get everything together, so it's like you feel that tension not only here at school, but then at home, but one main thing is that you're not able to get your me time, that you even feel that you don't even have the time to have me time or even think about it. So in a way, is it kind of even overwhelming to think about me time?
A little bit, because I feel like right now with everything going on, I kind of have a list of things I need to do through the day, and it's fine because it kind of helps keep me organized and keep me on track. But it's like, if I think about doing something or think about trying to sit down and relax for a minute and kind of gather myself, it's like, well, I still have 50 other things I need to do, and so my mind kind of keeps going to that I need to finish this stuff, and by the time I finish, I'm too tired to do anything, to even relax.
Yes. So just kind of even just planning it. Do you write it down, or do you just kind of mentally?
No, I have. I'm like really weird and super organized. But like every week I sit down and make a calendar for the week, and I have like chores that I like to do during the house, on certain days, and I factor in any activities the kids may have and homework and things like that. So I kind of try and balance it out throughout the week where I'm not stuck at the last minute trying to hurry up and get everything together. And that does help. It helps keep me on track and not getting overwhelmed at the last minute. But like I said, I can look at my list and see, it's just like, it's hard to justify taking time to take care of myself.
Okay. So since you do actually have a plan every week, what do you think is kind of making you feel overwhelmed? Since you said you sort it out, correct? Every week? Okay, so is there anything that you may think that's just kind of happening in particular?
I think it's just that with so much going on, it's just hard, and I kind of feel guilty. Like with my in-laws being in town, I'm not cleaning every day.
Okay.
Necessarily, like I'll tidy up, but I'm not doing a deep clean throughout the week. But I also feel guilty, like going and just like laying in bed and playing on my phone, or going to sit outside or doing things like that, when I feel like I should kind of be playing hostess and entertaining them, even if it's just sitting and visiting with them or sitting in the same room watching TV with them.
Okay, so you almost feel the need that you have to be there with them while they're home?
Yeah, it's just, and I know I don't need to, but it's just that idea of when you have people in your home, you want to entertain them and you want to be the good hostess, and it's hard to find that balance of, am I being rude if I leave, or what should I do?
Okay. And So it just kind of brings out, almost like, does it upset you in a way?
I don't know if upset's the right word, because I agreed to let them come in, and I understand. I know they would do the same for us, and it's just, I guess a better way to describe it, just throws my routine off.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I feel lost because, like, I can't do what I would normally do, and it's hard to kind of even find a temporary routine.
Mm-hmm.
And
So routine is very important.
yeah, yes. Got a little OCD going into play.
Okay, I can see that. It kind of seems like you can feel it almost, like the stress physically.
Yeah.
Okay, and when you do stress, do you kind of feel tensed up anywhere physically?
I do tense a lot. I feel a lot in my back and shoulders, and that's part of why I like to take the hot baths, because it does help kind of release that. And then that's also I try to take time to run, and that's always been a good stress reliever because it kind of helps clear my mind. I'm doing something active, and while and then that helps clear my mind. I'm not just sitting still and obsessing over things. And like I said, I just haven't been able to do any of that, and it's really starting to wear on me.
Okay. So feeling kind of, I'm sensing in a way that just sitting there and doing nothing is just a big bother to you?
Yeah, it's really hard for me to just sit.
Okay. So you, in a way, you kind of just need a distraction even so that would help.
Yeah, I stay really active, and just moving around helps so much with kind of calming my mind. And I think part of that is that I feel like I'm doing something, and if I'm marking things off the list, or I'm doing things that are helpful to other people or around the house, it makes me feel like I'm being productive.
Okay, so the feeling of productiveness.
Yes, that helps.
Yes. And I could understand it being a mother, and then not only having, I guess, your mother-in-law and father-in-law there with y'all. It just kind of, you feel that pressure.
Yeah.
You feel it. Okay. And is there anything in school that's really kind of...
I mean, school is not unusually stressful. It has the level of stress that you would expect from the graduate program, and my grades are great. I can't complain about any of that. I feel, for the most part, that I have a great handle on what's going on, but it is tough sometimes when I try to sit down and do schoolwork, and there's either so much commotion going on, or there's so much that else I need to be doing, and I have to kind of find that battle, do I need to do homework now, or do I need to do this other thing now? And if I do this other thing, when will I make time for homework?
Okay. So just, if you would compare your stress level with school and home, what would you kind of see?
Oh gosh, honestly, if I just had school and nothing to worry about, that'd be amazing. So there's so much other stressors at home, and I think a lot of that's just being a mom and having kids at home. There's so much, they require so much to be alive and to be happy sometimes, and it's just constantly going and constantly giving yourself to someone else, and that does wear you down really quickly. And if I were studying by myself and didn't have any other responsibilities, I could take a study break and play on my phone or read a chapter in a book or do something, and I wouldn't necessarily feel guilty. I can actually see it paying off and being beneficial when I come back with a clear mind, ready to focus again. But you can't necessarily do that at home. You stop paying attention to the kids sometimes, and they just, they lose it and make your stress even worse than what it was. So sometimes it's just easier to keep going.
Okay. Yeah, so in a way, it's, when you're at home with your kids, it's unpredictable. It's just like a constant, different schedule every day.
I try to keep them on a decent schedule. Of course, that doesn't always work out, but we stay at home most of the time, and we know like on Tuesdays are the day, are one day that we get out and, things like that. So like I know when we're going to be out and I try to plan around, nap times and things like that. So at least that's not affected.
Mm-hmm.
But when we are home for the most part during the week, the schedule is pretty much the same. We have our nap times, we have our lunch times and things like that. And even though I'm not necessarily strict to it's 12 o'clock, you got to eat, they do kind of stay on that routine pretty easily.
Okay, so there it's kind of consistent.
Yeah.
Okay, and so having your in-laws, is it?
It's made it more inconsistent, just because like they don't plan things like I do.
Okay.
And I understand that I'm a little, I overdo that sometimes. And so I try to, be a little more patient with others because I know they don't have like the same standards that I do. But they'll just decide, okay, we're going to go like right now. And if they want me to go with them, it's like I have to hurry up and shower and get dressed and like get the baby ready and pack a diaper bag and things like that and be ready to go. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily mind it. And, I know that there's that level of unpredictability, so I try to stay a little more prepared. I try to keep her diaper bag packed at all times and things like that. And I get up and I'll shower in the morning and kind of be ready to go if that does happen. Mm-hmm. But, you just never know, like if they change their mind or things like that. It's, I don't know what to pack as far as like meals for her sometimes. Like I packed a snack the other day and they ended up staying out a lot longer than we planned. And so like, I felt really bad that for during her lunchtime, she basically ate Chex Mix and goldfish.
Oh, okay.
We did have lunch, but it was like about an hour and a half later than what we normally do. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot going on. I'm not complaining. It's just, it gets overwhelming when you're constantly, I guess, playing catch up and you're not really sure what's happening next.
Okay. Yeah, that could be overwhelming. And it almost kind of makes you nervous and tense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because, like I said, we welcome them into our home, and I don't mind it, but if I'm being completely honest, like, I don't like anybody in my home. But on the same token, I don't like staying in other people's homes. And it's just because I like my space, and even though, like, I'm okay with it, not okay with it, having people around, I understand that it disrupts your routines and things like that, so I don't want to impose on other people either. Mm-hmm. And when we have people over, it just kind of disrupts things. And that's, I don't mind having people over to visit, but it's like when they stay, that like those extended periods of time is when it really disrupts everything and it starts to kind of ripple through the family.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's in a way more, say for example, that they weren't there. Do you feel that you'd still be stressed as you are now?
I don't think I'd be at this level. I think it'd be kind of your normal stress of just being a stay-at-home mom and a student. Mm-hmm. But it does add an extra level with them, with them being there and just kind of adding little extra messes to clean up and, an extra load of dishes every night and things like that. Just kind of constantly, I guess, like tiptoeing around the house because you don't want to disturb them but like you still kind of want to stay to your schedule. So it's that balancing act, and it's like I'm constantly thinking, is this okay or is this rude or should I do something different? And my mind's just exhausted from all of the extras.
So it's your mind and even physically?
Yeah.
Just drained.
Oh yeah, drain is a great word.
Okay. See, that is a lot to take on. I mean, having not only school, but also just the normal stress of school, and then your children, which, I mean, you're kind of used to, just going kind of back and forth to school and stay-at-home mom, which is normal, but whenever something disrupts, such as your in-laws coming into town, and I mean, you try to be, nice, but still, it's kind of hard whenever. So, I just kind of wanted to maybe, within these next few sessions, we can kind of proceed into maybe what is causing a lot of stress, if there's even more add-ons of stress, and how we can kind of cope with them. just strategies that we can go on throughout the sessions. Just kind of go